I bet you didn't know there's a place where Kentucky football and basketball fans unite. Welcome to Big Blue Breakdown. Whether you bleed blue or just love a good game, we've got the latest stories, hottest takes, and a whole lot of hometown pride. Hit play and join the conversation. This is your home for all things Kentucky sports.
Welcome in, everybody, to episode number 32 here on the Big Blue Breakdown. I am your host, Jaxson Thurmond. Thank you guys so much for tuning in here. We kind of have a packed show here today, talking about a lot of different things. Obviously, SEC Media Day just wrapped up a couple of days ago, and I wanted to dive into that. And TBT happening with Team Familia, a Kentucky alum. We will get into that, but thank you guys so much for everything that you guys did on the last video. Had a really, really good episode with Kaz Clay. Thank you again. Thanks to him again for joining us. But I want to go ahead and dive into some of the SEC Media Day. It was in Atlanta, I believe, this year. It's when we get to this time, it's really time for football, and it's a really exciting time because I know that it's just full opportunities. Every team is 0-0, and anything can really happen. Obviously, this team, not a lot of preseason expectations, as we will dive into that here in just a little bit, but it's just football time is just right around the corner. Basically a month away, I believe. Kentucky plays their first game, I believe, this year at August 30th, August 31st. It's going to be an absolute fun time. Absolute fun time. Hopefully this Cats team can really come out and prove some of these haters wrong and prove to the SEC that their preseason expectations of this team is not necessarily true. And just really for this team to be competitive will make this season a lot more fun than we are expecting them to be. And I think a competitive team and a competitive gosh, I'm losing my thought here. Competitive games against some really, really good teams just really debunk all of those preseason expectations. That's the hope, and we're gonna dive into a lot of things. Like I said last time, the all the transfers, what to really expect. Dive into this team, unlike guys are doing and aren't doing, and maybe see some holes that we have, but maybe see some strengths that can, all right, maybe if we can do this, we can have an identity here, we're going to be okay. But let's go ahead and jump into SEC Media Day. Now, Mark Stoops brought Alex Safari, Josh Caddis, and Lovett. Lovett is a safety. By the way, all three of these guys are going into their senior year. Alex Safari is a safety turned into a hybrid linebacker. Pretty cool stories on him if you guys want to go watch SEC Media Day videos. Really good coverage from KSR, that SEC podcast. Go check them guys out. Very, very good. And then you got Josh Caddis, tight end, going into his senior year, looking for a breakout year this year. He's got some really good tools. Would really like if he could be a go-to guy on this offense, which may need another playmaker, and I think can really give this team a boost on offense. And then you got Jordan Lovett, the safety, really savvy veteran in the back end there to help our secondary. Coach Stoops is going into his 13th season, if I'm correct. He's the longest tenured SEC head coach as of right now, and he is one out of 16 teams and head coaches that has been here the same time as Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, and his speech was, how Mark Stoops' speeches are. They're really, dry. It's not bad. It's not bad. He's going to give you what he thinks. He's not really going to kind of have a motivational, speech up there about how his team's going to be so good. But he said he's confident in his guys. 4-8 was not obviously the expectation last year or the results that this team wanted. But he is really looking forward to this next season, and he's actually really high on Zach Calzada heading into the 2025 season, and I'm glad to see, got to see him out there with these guys. I think these players are really, really good, and they're going to be big contributors this year. They are all really, really good leaders with some really, really good backstories. But just kind of dry talk from Mark Stoops. Nothing out of the usual. There was some comments about him being motivated. All the all the stuff on that's kind of funny. But there's actually a statistical proven that when he is technically quote unquote motivated, with preseason expectations being lower, we tend to beat those preseason expectations. So if you're looking to bet, I would hammer that 4.5 over, and you can look up that. It's just really up and down on win totals preseason, and this is one of those years that we would go over. So I would hammer that pretty daggone hard, and you'll hear my takes on that moving forward. Actually, as the off season continues to go on, not much longer to go though. You'll hear my takes on all that. I think we're gonna rank some quarterbacks. I think we're going to do a ranking of the teams, my personal ranking. Speaking of rankings, this was the ballot of the SEC standings, and what they think will be at the end of the season, what the SEC standings will look like. I have you take a look at this, and you can see we are sitting at 15th, not dead last, but second to last here, right in front of Mississippi State. You got notable ones here at Texas at number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it is right. I really do. I think maybe you could switch. I think Georgia and Texas are very, very easily switchable right there. And same thing with Alabama and LSU. I think that those 4 can be mismatched in all of those places right there. I truly believe that. South Carolina is really, really high, and I'm high on them as well. This team's going to be very, very good and very, very tough. You look at the guy, they got an elite guy quarterback in Lenore Sellers, and they got an elite guy on the edge in Dylan Stewart. And Florida, really high. I like it. I think it's a pretty reasonable take. I think Ole Miss is too high with what they lost. I would personally have them lower. I think Oklahoma's too low. Oklahoma's too low. I think they got the first 5 right. I mean, straight up. I think they got the first 5 right. I would move. I would move LSU and Alabama and flip those. Just because of the quarterback play right there. I would flip those, possibly. I think they got 1 and 2 right. I think Georgia and Texas are easily flippable, but I think the quarterback play of of Arch Manning is going to be better than Gunnar Stockton this year. So I can easily see that right there. But I like that. I like 5. I think 6 is right as well, but I would move Texas A&M in front of Ole Miss. I would have Texas A&M at 7. I won't go into all these picks here. I'll just give you just a little bit of a preview here. I think Tennessee is too high. I do. I think Tennessee is too high. I think Missouri's too low. So right now, and I'll go into depth. I know I'm probably already revealing my my rankings here. I would go Texas 1, Georgia 2. Yeah, I think probably go LSU 3, Bama 4, South Carolina 5, Florida 6, Uh, Texas A&M 7. Oklahoma 8. I think they're very flippable also with Texas A&M there. Um, and then I would put Missouri at that 9 spot. I would put Auburn at the 10 spot, and I would put Ole Miss probably at that 11 spot, and I would actually move Kentucky up to that 12 spot, and I would flip Vanderbilt and Arkansas to no, excuse me. I would flip. I know this is going to be a little bit of a hotter take here. I would personally flip Vanderbilt and Mississippi State. Mississippi State actually goes to 14, excuse me, and Arkansas goes to that 13 spot. So what I would have personally here: Texas, Georgia, LSU, Alabama, South Carolina, Florida, Texas A&M, Oklahoma. Oklahoma at what would that be? Oklahoma at that 8 spot, and then I would go Missouri at the 9 spot, Auburn at the. I think am I leaving out here the Tennessee? I think I possibly could. So yeah, Texas, Georgia, LSU, Alabama, South Carolina, Florida, Texas A&M, and then throw Oklahoma at 8. I'll give Tennessee the number 9 spot here. I think that could be right, but I think I would flip teams around them. I would flip some teams around them. Actually, I'm going to move them down to the 11 spot. Tennessee at 11. Oklahoma at that 8 spot, like I said. Missouri at that 9 spot. Auburn at that 10 spot. And then I would go Mississippi State. And then Kentucky at 12. Mississippi State at Arkansas at 13. Mississippi State. Mississippi State at that 14 spot. 14. I may have this a little bit mixed up here, but you understand the gist of this here. Okay. You understand the gist of this here. Texas, completely understandable here. I understand us being at 15. I really do. I completely get it, and I don't necessarily disagree with it. But I think some other teams that they mess up here. I think Vandy's too high. I don't think they can repeat the success that they had last year, particularly. I think Arkansas is very underrated with Taylor Green. Dude's a baller. I think Oklahoma is way underrated here. I really, really like John Mateer. I like Deion Burks, and I like Jaden Ott. I think Missouri's underrated. I don't think Bo Probably Probably Parablula. I can't say it for some reason. I do think I would have him lower in my SEC quarterback rankings, but that's because he's unproven. Like, he hasn't played, he hasn't started. But I really like his traits, and I think he can really move up. And I think he'd be very, very solid. But I can't really put him that high to start in front of these other guys that have played, so I'd probably have him lower. But you get the gist of this. I think I would have Kentucky at that Missouri spot at 12. I genuinely think so, because I think Kentucky can beat teams like Vandy. I think Kentucky can beat a team like Tennessee this year with Joey Aguilar. I think that's a big downgrade, and I think they're losing a lot of playmakers. I think Ole Miss, I think we can definitely get them early with their loss, and we get that game at home, and a freshman quarterback coming in. I think they're going to have a downgrade this year. And I also think we can get Auburn on any given night with I think they don't have the greatest continuity, and I could see them really struggling up to Kentucky. Now games like Florida is going to be tough. We always end up hanging around with Georgia, South Carolina's going to be tough, but I really do think we can get Vandy. Like, these are possibilities. I'm not predicting these. Vandy, Tennessee, um, and Ole Miss, and Auburn. I think that's four really winnable games for us. And we get now Vandy. Vandy is on the road. Okay, all right. Sorry, my mic dropping here. Vandy is on the road, and I don't want to call that not a road environment, but I would replace having to play at Knoxville with having to play in Nashville and having that Tennessee game at home. So I'll take that. Get Tennessee at home. You get Ole Miss at home. You know what I mean? Now you have to play Auburn on the road and you have to play Vandy on the road. Okay? And I would take that. I'm taking that all day. I think excuse me. I think Vandy. I think we're gonna have a lot of fans show up there. I really do. And I can definitely see them taking a big step back from last year. Just because I think they lost a good amount of players on that front line. I just don't know if they can repeat that. I genuinely don't. I don't. Maybe that's just me though. All right, so moving on to TBT. TBT. Kentucky. La Familia wins 2 in a row. Now I think they're in the Sweet 16 of the thing, and the Ville goes down. Kentucky beats Auburn's alumni team today. I believe it was War Ready, I believe. We beat them by 4 with the Elam ending. Man, this team is so fun to watch. Ansley Amanor hit the game winner in the first game where we beat the team like 1-0 something to 50 point bomb on this team. And I really, it's really a fun thing to watch. I think it's a great thing that they have really put this together. And Kentucky can definitely win the thing all now with the Ville out. That was another really, really good team. They lost to side like Cancer, who's also a really good team. I like the road ahead for La Familia and the former alumni. Willie Cauley-Stein is on this team. The Harrison twins, obviously Ansley Amanor from last year's team. And then you got guys like DJ Burns, who has become a fan favorite. With the way he is hyping up the crowd today. Then you got guys like Cancer, and this is Cancer's brother, who I believe played like Xavier or something, but he's playing with us. He played last year. He's very much a fan favorite as well. I believe Archie Goodwin ended up hitting the last shot of this one in the Elam ending. You also got guys like Dorian Lamb that are on the team, and Khalil Whitney on the team. That guy has been playing tremendous, and just a very fun thing to watch. A lot of those guys were really, really good at the University of Kentucky. Obviously, Khalil Whitney's story is kind of sad, but getting him back and getting him as you see him as a different figure now, I think is really good for his image here at the Cat. I think he's going to be one of those guys you look back on at this is like, wow, that guy was really good. He's going to have a really, really good image when he leaves here, and I think he should. He's a heck of a ball player, and it's just really tragic things happened to him while he was here. I think just a lot of mental things, and had to walk away from the team, but just absolute fun to watch. And this week, I don't know who they're playing. I don't know exactly who they're playing. They're playing the 2 seed, but looks like they're going to have, if they keep winning, home court advantage moving on, which is actually really, really big. And since the Ville lost, they will have home court advantage moving on. Now, this is the bracket as of right now. They actually play Eberlin Drive, 2 seed. This is just their side of the bracket right now. But if they win this, they do make it to the Sweet 16, I believe. They would play the winner of Team 901 and LA Ignite. So that's the 6-7 matchup right there. This is a very winnable tournament for. I didn't switch it. Sorry. Here we go. Here we go. You can see here that they play again. Aberlin Drive, the 2 seed, and they play the winner of, if they win this, Team 901 and LA Ignite. They got a really good shot at winning this. They have a tremendous squad. I believe like 7 former NBA players are on this team, which leads TBT's history. And they got a lot of talent. They're just really, really fun to watch. And it's just a joy to watch these guys come back and play for the university. They're doing really, really well. I could see them going to win the whole thing. That'd be pretty cool. We'll do episodes on those. Very, very awesome. Actually, Kentucky's team right now is coming to watch all these games, and they look like they are absolutely having a blast. They scrimmaged them. I believe they won by 4, and last year we won one and lost one, so we got to win. I think that was about it, and that's a really good sign for this upcoming team. To be an older team like that, it's pretty good. I think just having this in July is just super fun for this fan base. But that is going to wrap up episode number 32 here. Thank you guys for tuning in here. Wanted to give it a SEC media update. Some of the things that Mark Stoops said. Some things he gave the preseason SEC thing and my thoughts on it and what I think is actually going to happen. But that's just my opinion. I will specifically talk about that in a episode where I break down all of that and the reason behind things, because maybe some QB rankings. But just want to give a update here, and we'll start really deep diving in on football. I'm scratching the surface of it right now. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 32 here on the Big Blue Breakdown. And as always, go Cats.